I'm trying to do the best I can for you guys, whether it's fixing the camera, doing good bit rates, upping my hardware quality to do things. Um, but I never have a problem stopping playing a game and talking to the people here because I'm here for you guys and ladies, which is good because it's all about you. It's part of the reason why I do this. I don't do this just to play games. It's a kind of a nice added effect. I'm going to play games regardless, but it's to make sure that when I was going through a tough time, whatnot, it was cool to watch streamers and saw the interactions, and I enjoyed that. And I wanted to give back to other people that if I can bring joy in their lives, that'd be great. Because I see comments on videos, shorts, things where people are appreciating, and also people coming in and having a good time, encouraging them on their test, helping them with their Intel processor because they're afraid it might, fry out. It's all good. If you're wondering about Starfield, Starfield's been crashing my PC. Um, for the longest time. I've done everything I can. About the only thing I haven't tried yet could be the power supply. And I got this big mama jamma right here. I have an 850 watt in there right now. But I did see the power with the power meter spiked to like 538 watts or something like that temporarily. It could be I'm overloading some of the power on the rails or something like that. It could be damage from when my PC was water cooled and it got wet, and it doesn't really hit unless you really push it. I'm not entirely sure. So crazy coup. So we're gonna try to swap that out and see if that fixes my problem with Starfield. Because realistically, I'm at this battle where there's all these crazy guys popping in and attacking, and particle effects going on, and it's pushing my system. And I'm wondering if it's kicking in, needing extra power, and that's when it has problems. It is a lot of power. Well, I mean, listen, I have 850 watts in here, which is plenty, but there's like no real in between. So it's either you go 850 or you go 1,000 or 1,050 watts. You really don't have a choice. The next one is like 12 and then 1,600 watts. What's wrong? Every time I play Starfield Shatterspace DLC, my PC crashes, which wouldn't be a problem because save states are fine, but it corrupts my video. I'm literally playing these scenes over and over again. Literally beat the game, was running to the exit, and it crashed last second and corrupted my video, which is horrible. And it is very weird because the funny thing is, I played the beginning of Shatterspace, um, Starfield, and it was fine. I played all of Starfield, and it was fine. I don't know why I'm having a problem with more power and everything else. The only thing I can think of is there's a problem with the power supply. Either this scene just has so much going on that maybe I didn't really have going on in other parts of the game, which is highly likely. And I've never had anything really push my PC this hard with that much characters, AI, particle effects that it's a problem. So this is my last ditch effort because if not, the only thing I can chalk it up to is the game just not properly designed and they need to fix it. I waited a bit, updated drivers, don't know. It's a thing. I'm trying to finish it because I'm literally right there on the edge. Like, you have to go flip a switch and then fire at these things on this gate they got going on or whatever, and then you have to escape. I literally have two of them now. So you literally just beat a bug, flip a switch, fire at it, get to the other side, get all the way up to the top past the robots and the people, flip the switch, shoot it, and then just dive down into a hole. It's crazy. Oh, trust me. It doesn't matter. My PC will not be loaded. Dude, it's crashed on load. I'm loading the game and it crashes. It makes no sense whatsoever. I have hard drive space with it, not an issue. I have over 100 gigs. I have 64 gigs of RAM, so that's not a problem. The thing's not overheating. I'm usually sitting around 56, 60, whatever Celsius, so that's plenty fine. It's not overheating. The GPU is always pegged at 100, so that's normal. The CPU never really goes above, I don't know, 60, 70%. It's fine. I've played the game and it's crashed at least on me about, I want to say, 22 times. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and it's very frustrating. Each time I've done it, I've at least tried 6 or 7 times, and I've tried like nearly 3 or 4 times. So it's very frustrating because I want to provide that reaction and the end to this game for people so they can make a proper decision. Because realistically, the cool thing is if you're not streaming it and you're just playing it, it's not going to mess your game files at all. Like all my game saves are fine. So you can just pick up where you left off and just be like, okay, cool, and I'm good. But that doesn't do any good if you need to record the video. And so when it crashes, it happens sooner than I can hit stop. And no rhyme or reason to anything. There's not one thing that causes it. I have a 7900 XTX with 24 gigs of RAM, which is equivalent to a 5080. Plenty powerful, not a problem. I can play Cyberpunk, not a problem. So, and I'm not even streaming. I'm just doing it locally. So I'm not even pushing the processor or anything else hard. I've even tried lowering the bitrate, thinking maybe I'm overloading the encoder. Didn't make a hill bit of difference. I really do believe it's either it's not hiding things in the background with all the stuff popping in and it's causing problems, like a memory leak or whatever issue, or because typically when you okay, soapbox, if you will. When you render something, there's a lot of things in a scene, but it only renders what you can see. It doesn't render if something's behind you. It might track it, but it doesn't render it. My concern is there's so much stuff going on around you. Either A, they're not releasing things like they should because things are like phasing in and popping in and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and there's particle effects going everywhere. I just don't know if it's a limitation of the engine. I don't know if it's a limitation of um, or what it is. Like I really couldn't tell you what the problem is. It should not be a problem. It's not like I have a weak graphics card or processor. I have a 7950X 3D, 16 cores with 3D cache. Like shouldn't be a problem. I have an NVMe PCI Express 4 drive. Again, performance shouldn't be a problem. You never tap that fully. You know, I have no rhyme or reason to it because, like I said, Starfield played fine with a lesser processor streaming it. So, who's to say? Also, a program note: I did pick it up for cheap. I picked up GTA 5 finally. I picked it up for $17 on Amazon. Let's go for the PlayStation 5. Don't know when I'm gonna play that just yet, but I do have it on the docket. I also need to get Black Myth Wukong as that's been recommended, but I've yet to see a price drop low enough. Maybe I'll pick that up for Black Friday if it's priced down enough, because I hate paying full price for things if I can get away with it. So that's what we have going on right now. I made sure to already install the game, so we're not waiting on that. So we're going to be able to get right into it and do what we need to do. Again, I'm shooting this at 60 by 1440, so we're going to have a very good resolution on this. I could do 4K if I want to, but why push my luck? I had issues trying to push 4K, and I don't know if it was Twitch or capture card or whatever. It just would not capture. So I don't know if it's maybe the PlayStation's not really pushing out 4K. Couldn't tell you. If you don't mind asking, how much does the build cost? I'm gonna copy the build. Okay, hold on. Okay. Don't copy my build. Unless you're streaming, it is more than you need. The reason why they say that is, realistically, right now, you only really need an 8-core processor because that's what the actual game systems are made for. If you're trying to future-proof, okay, fine. But if you don't need a PC right now, I almost say, please wait. The reason being is, I'm hearing through the grapevine that AMD is coming up with Ryzen 6. And with Ryzen 6, which will work on the AM5 platform, you will be able to get higher core counts per chip. So that means they're potentially going to give you the ability to have more cores per chip. So right now it's 8 per chip. And if you do 2, for gaming and stuff, it doesn't work super great. So that's why they only do the 3D V cache on just 8. They may increase that to 12. So you'll have more cores on that. Well, if the new PlayStation comes out in about a year or two, it may have 12 cores on the chip because it's doing the same thing. So I'd almost kind of wait on that. On top of that, they're going to be making it maybe potentially hit, what is it? 7 gigahertz, which is going to be a whole 1,000 gigahertz faster. They're going to have more cache. They're going to do 3D cache. It just, honestly, it's one of those things that if you don't need something now, I would wait. If you are looking to build something, depending on the resolution, will depend on what processor I would recommend. If you want the best gaming one, you're going to be looking at the 9800 X3D. If you went a little bit cheaper, you could go the 9800 or 9700. I forget which one it is. They change. And then, oh, I understand. Gaming laptop, I get it. Um, and also, they're going to be coming out with a, what is it? New graphics card as well, which are going to be crazy. Um, Also, there's going to be new gaming laptops that are going to come out. They're going to be 12 core, and my understanding, they're going to have performance. Was it Medusa Halo, Strix Halo? It's going to have the performance on par with a 4060 or close to a 4070 Ti. Don't know how much they're going to be, but that's all going to be on chip, right? Like in a laptop gaming chip, like an APU, like what they have in the Steam Deck or things like that. That's going to be crazy. So you're going to have crazy laptops. So if you're going to build from scratch and you want to do something now, AM5, obviously. For that kind of a price, you definitely could do it. I mean, here's the thing. The motherboard, maybe $200. RAM, go with 32 gigs. 64 gigs is overkill. You only want 2 sticks. So maybe that's $100 or so, maybe a little bit less. You don't have to have RGB. That's up to you. NVMe drive, 2 terabyte for $120, $130, right? Got an Inland, which is a Micro Center brand one. Though, make sure if you get an NVMe drive, get a TLC. Avoid a QLC because they're cheap crap. NVMe drives, don't ever touch them. You could do a 57 Ti, but the 57 Ti has 12 gigs of RAM, which is the bare minimal to run things. You, in a few years, are going to feel like you're going to have to replace that a lot sooner than later. I would get anything with 16 gigs, is my recommendation on that. Your best bet is to get a 9070 XT. That's the hotness right now. It costs about the same or a little bit less. I'd have to look that up. That is going to have ray tracing on par with close to the 40 or the 40, yeah, 4070, if you will, when it comes to ray tracing, which isn't a whole lot more different with the 50. The 50 series is kind of a dud. I'm thinking 64 because I'm working in Blender. Okay, if you're doing render and bleeding, fine. Spend the money on it. Okay. I would point out that you do not want to. Don't do 4 sticks. That can affect gaming, right? If you're doing Blender and Unity, I'd have to look into the benchmarks. You may want to go Intel with some of those. Maybe you want to go AMD. I'm not entirely sure, but I would stay away from the 3D cache one because you want speed. You want to go with more of the X's. So either, you know, realistically, if you're going to be pushing stuff and it's a day-to-day work thing, then more cores the better. So again, you're going to be looking at the 16 core units. I haven't seen a lot that would justify. Well, if you're doing workloads like that, some of the AI stuff may or may not take into account. I'm not entirely sure. You'd have to look at benchmarks, whether it's worth spending the extra money or just taking the discount going from the 9000 series of Ryzen processors down to the 7000 series is what I have, 7000. No, 4.6 I've learned at. Right, yes. Which is weird. It's like, why bother putting it in there if 4.6 is going to cause problems? But whatever, right? I think it's more of a programming thing, meaning games don't take advantage of it, right? But graphics card wise, it really depends. You could go down the Nvidia route, but the thing is, the software stack and everything else is better on AMD versus Nvidia. My biggest thing is they're just stingy with the actual RAM. Now, I haven't looked at it just yet. Supposedly they're coming out with a Super Series, and supposedly the Super Series, the 50 series, is going to have more RAM, but we'll wait and see. So I was saying, if you don't have to build something right now, wait. See what that Super Series is going to look like when it comes out, if you really want to go the NVIDIA route, or you go down the AMD route. it's really up to you. Check out the benchmarks. Look at the prices and stuff to figure out like what's going to work best for you. Power supply wise, well, I mean, if you're going to push it to the wall, you just got to figure out how much power you're going to be doing. So I'm doing for a CPU no Intel, but I've always been an Nvidia guy, so it's going to be a bit weird changing. It's not as weird as you think it is. Let me show you something. So let's see if I can pull it up. One of the things that it's hard to see, but I'm sure you've maybe not have seen. So let me go to the PC. Can I do PC? This might be a little weird, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now because my screen's ultra wide. Okay. Let's see if that worked. Hopefully you can see that okay. This is the Nvidia or the AMD control panel. So you have everything here. You can check to see if things are up to date. You have to do no logout for any type of accounts with Nvidia or any of that kind of nonsense. You can look at release notes, which you click on this, and it'll tell you what all changes are in there, what else good and whatnot. They have the HyperRX thing, which you can enable to do things, which is great. It shows you average frame rates. When you go into gaming and things like this, it has a bunch of different things in here, which you can check out, which is cool. And also, there's a record and stream function if you want to. There's a performance feature where you can do, just to show you, you can do an overlay, and there's a thing that's going to come up in the upper right-hand corner here in a second, which you can sort of see, which tell you frame time, GPU power, utilization, all that jazz, which is cool and free. It's just always running, but you can turn it off. You can overclock it with tuning. You can undervolt, overclock the RAM, balance, quiet, rage, whatever you want to do in that specific thing. You can manually do things however you want to do. It's all built in, right? This is just free, and it comes like this, right? On top of the thing, they're catching up with the CUDA core, with some different things that they're trying to do. So I think eventually they're going to get into it because I think they're also utilizing AI to try to catch things up with drivers and whatnot. And also, I think they're winning when it comes to a lot of the workload stuff as well. I know they made inroads on certain software programs. It's only a matter of time. Unless it's a huge, and I do mean huge, if time is money, you buy what works for you, right? Well, yes, but understand the only reason why Nvidia came up with an app like that was because of AMD. You should have saw what their app used to look like. Oh, it was so old. But again, you know, people copy, people push each other. That's competition. I like it. But also that control panel works for more than just the graphics cards. You can also do things with the CPU if you wanted. It is. It is so easy because I think what a lot of people I've heard that were NVIDIA fans is it's all right there and easy to find. Whereas with the NVIDIA one, you got to go hunting and pecking for stuff. Also, I've heard with some people they had issues with NVIDIA where they have multiple screens set up. But they'd have problems with one of the screens blinking out and whatnot. I don't have that problem. I have this ultra wide 1340 by 1440, a 4K TV thing here. And if I really want to hook it up, I got a little TV monitor thing in there for status or looking cool that I want. So I can drive it no problem. It's easy enough. Of course, you know, the 4090 and the 5090, they're going to have the performance crown. I mean, that's a given. What do you mean what? Were you talking about my monitors or the fact that I got a monitor inside that? If you're asking about that, I'll go ahead and answer it. Yeah, I had to turn off one of the screens because it was doing that. Yeah, it's an NVIDIA graphics problem, and they haven't fixed it. I literally saw one of the YouTubers who was like, I'm tired of this nonsense. There was no fixing it. NVIDIA's known for years, and they literally they switched out the graphics card. Problem solved. I was like, wow, that sucks. Because just to let you know, when I play Starfield, I have a 4K screen having all my screens up, all my streaming things up, and everything else like that. And then I'm doing ultra wide on my PC over here. Yeah, I know it's a little delayed. I mean, it's YouTube. What are you gonna do? I think the other ones might be quicker, but I'm not entirely sure. It's okay. But yeah, man, I'm. The other problem that Nvidia is going to run into, which is going to be a problem, is they have CPU overhead issues where there are some instances where a 9070 XT can beat a 40 or is it a 5090 or a 4090 or something like that in a game, because the resolution's so low if you're not doing 4K, that it ends up being faster because it's being hamstrung by the resolution because of the way the drivers are written, which is an issue. Nvidia could fix it if they wanted to, but from my understanding, it's one of those things where they aren't paying a whole lot of attention to it because that's not where they make their money. It's in AI. But if the Eye of Sauron moves over and they decide that they need to fix it, they can fix it. Well, I mean, hey, listen, get a card, right? Swap it in. If it doesn't fix it or you don't like it, return it 30 days, right? Go to a place like Best Buy or Micro Center where you could return stuff. Just make sure you read the return policy. But I'm telling you, years of experience in watching people and everything else. I personally had a Nvidia card way back. I had a we're going way back. A 460 with 2 gigs of RAM. I mean, it was way back, way back. And then I went from that to a what was it? I went to a Vega 64 and then this one, right? Like I've done huge jumps, which has been crazy. Mainly because I wasn't really doing a lot of PC gaming back in the day, or the games weren't just that demanding, to be honest. So, 5090. You have a 5090? Oh man, I'm sorry. That sucks. And you shouldn't have problems with a card like that. I will point out the other issue that going with AMD that I kind of avoided is the whole 16 pin power issue. An AMD graphics card just came out. I think one of the vendors came out with one with the 16 pin, and it burnt the plug. I got a Micro Center on Bethel Road. There you go. Micro Center is the place to be. Let me tell you. That's where I buy all my stuff, right? So, yeah, Micro Center is the place to be. I can tell you right now, if you can survive it, it's a year or two, I think. AMD is going to be coming out with new graphics cards, and there's talk that they're going to go 32 gigs and everything else, and I think Nvidia is feeling a little pushed, so we'll see how things go. I think the next generation of cards is going to be good. Pricing on Nvidia, I don't know, but we'll see how things go. It's hard to say, but it really boils down to what you think is important right now. I've always been told that you buy to what you need and not, if it's really bad and you really need to do it, you just go ahead and do it because there's no good time. But if you can, wait, because there will be better stuff. Don't just willy-nilly do stuff. No, I returned the 5090. Yeah, it's exactly the reason why. Well, not only that, but I was afraid I if I wanted to buy a 5090, I could have bought a 5090. But I didn't like the fact that it had the 16 power adapter. I did not trust that thing. I still don't trust that thing. Like literally, if AMD goes the 16 pin route, I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I'll be honest. And the funny thing is, Intel came up with the standard and they don't use it. Oh, did it? Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen the burning of the... Oh, well, hold on. I'm not talking. Hold on. 1440p talking. I know I'm all kinds of over the place. The 16 pin adapter for the graphics card literally is burning out on the card and or the power connector for the power supply. And I think the design and the problem is if you look at the cards, they're all coming into this one weak point on the actual cards. There's been a lot of things by DeBauer and whatnot that they looked at this, and it's a flaw in the design. On top of the fact that I think they're doing too small a pins, to be honest with you, it's just a flawed thing in the first place. Because first of all, they're using smaller pins than you could think of, and then it's coming at an angle, and there's only these 2 beefy pins, and all the power is hitting on the one pin, so you're pulling so much wattage through this one little pin. That's about the size of what the old PCI Express power adapters were. So it's like, I think they're asking physically too much out of it, and I think someone's made a mistake and they're not willing to go back on it, because then if they admit that and do it, it's a problem. Don't be surprised if there's a change in the new 60 series cards, but I don't know. And the thing is, I don't even think the power connector is exactly the same as it is in the actual server PCs. I haven't even looked at it. If I could survive waiting for my Switch till November, I think I could survive 2 more years for get a graphics card. Dude, there's some crazy hardware coming out that if you don't need it, wait. Seriously, you're gonna have the new PlayStation comes out, which is gonna set the standard when it comes to how many cores are on a processor, right? Because that's what some people are going to build to. Now, the Switch 2 might have an effect on it because it's got 8 cores, but we'll see. Yeah. And again, it's not just an Nvidia thing. It's the power connection. It is. It's dumb. I mean, I got 3 PCI Express 8 pins right here, right? So in technicality, each one of these 8 pins should theoretically be good up to 150 watts. So I should have plenty of power here that if I want to push up to what is that? 300, 450 watt, and then you add an additional 75 watt for that. I think it's like 5 something, 575 or something watt power. I'm going to just tell you right now, I saw that on my whole system, mind you, spike on my power meeting. Hey, that's fine. If you're in and out, that's cool. You know, it's not a big deal. We're going to go ahead and get back into this real quick because, you know, I do want to play this game. And I know you're going to be in and out, and it's fine. But again, I have no problem stopping and talking. It's all good. It's all good. Don't ever get upset about it. I'm here for you guys. But if you do like what you saw, give me a like, follow, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for Dark coming out and saying hello. Synax also on YouTube. And, of course, Crazy Crew. And, of course, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at twitch.tv/Game with Magus, also on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. And of course, you should follow me on social media. Why? Well, because if something changes or you want to know what my schedule is, you know what's going on. But also, you use this platform to make suggestions on future games that I might play. Until next time, stay adventurous.